There are so many animals out here that are roaming the streets at night in the winter, probably shivering next to a trash can or something. And normally, when you want a pet, you would just go out and buy one from a breeder or a pet store depending on what you want. I'm here to persuade you that you should adopt from a shelter rather than buy animals. One reason why you should adopt from a shelter is because it would cost less to do that rather than buy a dog from a breeder, so it will benefit you. Dogs and cats feel emotions too, like humans, so getting one from a shelter and showing it love would help that animal that might have been in an abusive home or is just left on the side of the road to survive on its own. It's estimated that around 1.5 million adoptable animals are put to death simply because the shelter doesn't have enough room or funds to help all the animals that come into the shelter. Adoption centers have a rule that they have to follow called the 72-hour rule. That is where they have to wait 72 hours when a stray comes in before they can legally euthanize it, which means to put them down in a humane way. Whenever you adopt an animal, that spot opens up a space in the shelter for another animal to get a chance to be adopted instead of being a stray. So you're basically saving 2 animal lives instead of just 1. Adopting from a shelter would be a lot better and would be reducing the number of cats and dogs being put down each year by the low space the shelters have. Most of the time, the animals are brought in there because of a move or divorce, so the dogs and cats that are in the shelters are used to being around people and families, so they're typically more nicer and stuff. The reason why people buy from breeders is because they're searching for a specific dog breed. Even if you are looking for a specific dog breed, you could still find that kind in a shelter if you look. Another benefit for adopting a pet rather than buying is that there is a good chance they're trained, or they have their shots, or they could have been neutered. So it's less money for you to pay in the long run. And yes, puppies are cute, but they can be hard to train, especially if you don't have the time or patience to train one. Adopting from a shelter, you can get an adult dog or even a younger dog that is well behaved still. Even if you are still looking for a puppy, you could still get one because many dogs that are brought into the shelters are pregnant, so those puppies will soon be up for adoption once the mother has them. And more than likely, the animal at the shelters don't have health issues, or they have less health issues because they're being taken care of, and they will have some knowledge of obedience, they'll be trained a little bit more, and they'll know about that. And I got that information from a website called www.greenmatters.com. A big problem we are facing right now is puppy mills, and if you aren't for sure what that is, it's basically a facility where they breed dogs over and over again without showing the mother any companionship or care, and very little hope of ever being with the family. It's where they put profit over the welfare of the animals, and they normally keep the mother locked up in cages and sell the puppies to online buyers or people that shop in pet stores. So if you buy an animal from a pet store, you're more than likely giving money to puppy mills, and it can also be with kittens too, either way. They are kept in terrible condition, and they don't get the right medical care they need, and they are often sick and have behavioral issues as a result of this. After the dogs are no longer profitable, they're typically killed, abandoned, or sold at an auction. Many people don't know or understand that buying from pet stores, you are contributing to these hurt animals. And by adopting a pet, you are helping to get rid of these types of businesses because you're not giving any money towards them to keep on working. It may be a little bit of work to fill out the paperwork and all the information needed to adopt an animal, but it would be worth it because you are saving the life for the next one. You are also getting a friend who won't ever leave you, and it's also shown that animals, and like dogs and cats, can help your health and your mental health and stuff. And I got this information from humanesociety.org. Thanks for listening.